Now, and that leads me to the next question, which is where do we go from here to keep going with this? I mean, I don't know what all he's going to do with Twitter. I don't know how vicious they'll get. Though I could see them taking Twitter and doing it like Parler, where they block it from Google Store and Apple Store and really make it very difficult for people to have access to it. Of course, it's already got such a big audience already that it may be too little too late. But how do we keep going with momentum here when it comes to these other corporations that have had such a horrible effect on a free and open debate?
I think it's great what he did with Twitter, but you have to understand that's just Twitter. It's the smallest of the big five tech giants in the world today, and so I don't think this really is optimistic as it is, as happy of a moment as it is, and such a white pill, as the young kids say, such an optimistic occurrence. It actually should lead to we should do nothing different in our approach as conservatives to reforming Section 230 and stopping big tech censorship, because all Elon did is gain a foothold in the fight against these big tech giants. And it's still up to Congress and guys like me running for Congress to put forth a plan and fight to reduce or repeal Section 230 special carve-outs for big tech, which allow them to go unpunished for censorship, and to advance big tech, antitrust legislation, which would allow us to break up big tech and stop the concentration of power, which even allows them to begin the process of censorship against people. Because this was unfathomable to even think of years ago, but these companies are so big that they can actually engage in the project of mass censorship and shut down the public square. So I don't think what we need to do changes at all. This just helps to know that we have a space in the meantime where people can commence and discuss and debate about society going into the next election. But the reforms that conservatives need to put forth to reform and to reduce the power of big tech, I don't think need to change. I think we need to continue going full speed forward.
Well, how do we square that with the idea of Democrats and neocons in U.S. Congress are going to be putting in pieces into these legislations to try to strip platforms like Twitter from even opening up free speech again? It seems like, realistically, there's a lot more people like Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi in the Congress that you may be headed to than you, Sabatini. So how would you be able to overwhelm that bipartisan hatred for free speech that might get packed into?
Well, I think the most important fight for America today was and still continues to be and will be the civil war within the Republican Party. Like you described, Democrats are never going to be with us. There's nothing we're going to get done on big tech before the end of the year. Their fight is amongst Republicans. We need to make sure we're fighting in competitive primaries to get out and root out and roll back the communists within the Republican Party who don't understand what's at stake and don't understand the threat of big tech, and replace them with patriots who still believe in the First Amendment and in free speech. Once we do that, we take the Republican Party back, then we can put forth important legislation that gets the job done. So right now, instead of navel-gazing and arguing about the specificities of one senator's Section 230 proposal versus another, we should be trying to engage in competitive primaries and removing weak, terrible Republicans from office like Liz Cheney.